So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks. Here's a clip I want you guys to see of Sonny Hostin on The View, Tom, basically implicating her husband in this type of a scheme.
Hi, and welcome to Gossip Spill. Sonny Hostin had climbed to the pinnacle of daytime television with sharp legal insight and a fearless approach to tackling controversial issues, qualities that earned her a loyal fan base and widespread acclaim. Every weekday, viewers tuned in to watch her dissect high-stakes debates, praising her unmatched ability to deliver clarity and heart. But behind the polished exterior of her professional life, Sonny's personal world was unraveling in a way that no one, perhaps not even Sonny herself, saw coming. Whispers began swirling that her husband, a charming figure with lofty ambitions, might be entangled in a disturbing legal crisis. At first, Sonny dismissed the rumors. She'd weathered countless storms in her career, from contentious on-air debates to relentless tabloid scandals, and always emerged unscathed. But this time, the stakes seemed unimaginably high. Studio insiders speculated that her husband wasn't just in trouble. He might be bargaining to protect himself by drawing Sonny into the fray. The very thought made her heart pound. It started with hushed conversations among the production crew. The usual lighthearted banter gave way to tense, whispered exchanges that abruptly ceased whenever Sonny walked into the room. Snippets of conversations hinted at a significant plea deal and documents that could involve Sonny. She tried to brush it off. Surely her husband would never jeopardize her position, but as days passed, the murmurs only grew louder. In private, Sonny couldn't shake a gnawing sense of dread. She knew her husband's business dealings had the potential to attract scrutiny, but he had always reassured her that everything was above board. Now, cryptic social media leaks suggested otherwise, hinting at an escalating investigation into his ventures, with investigators allegedly probing whether Sonny's public platform had been used to shield or bolster his activities. She tried to reason with herself.
Only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system, and doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies.
She was a commentator, not a conspirator, but the shadows of doubt were impossible to ignore. The tension came to a head when whispers reached her that the network might suspend her if any evidence emerged tying her to illegal activities. This looming threat, coupled with the unnerving possibility that her husband might cooperate with investigators at her expense, shook her to her core. One afternoon, she emerged from a private phone call, her cheeks streaked with tears. A concerned co-host tried to console her, but Sonny gently turned away, murmuring something about needing time to figure things out. By the time she left the building, her hands were trembling, and her gaze was vacant. Then came the day no one at the studio would ever forget. During a live segment, the producer signaled for an unexpected wrap-up discussion. Sonny, visibly frazzled, had been glancing at her phone throughout the broadcast, her distraction clear. Suddenly, her phone buzzed with an incoming message. She glanced at the screen, and her face drained of color. Struggling to mask her reaction, she gasped, a sound faint but unmistakable, caught by her still live microphone. Viewers, oblivious to the message's contents, watched in stunned silence as Sonny's composed facade crumbled right before their eyes. During a brief lull before the next segment, Sonny leaned toward the producer, her microphone muted as she whispered in desperation. She asked to leave the set immediately, but the show's host firmly signaled for her to stay. They were live, and there was no room for disruption. Sonny's eyes blinked rapidly, betraying her struggle to contain tears, or perhaps sheer panic. Finally, unable to endure another moment, she ripped out her earpiece, stood abruptly, and darted off camera. The broadcast hastily cut to a commercial break, leaving viewers confused and the studio in stunned silence. The message that had sent Sonny spiraling was a bombshell. An anonymous tip claimed her husband had just finalized a plea agreement naming her as a person of interest. Whether or not it was true, the mere suggestion was enough to set her into an emotional freefall. The fallout was instant. Rumors swirled about the deal's contents. Some alleged it implicated Sonny directly, while others speculated it simply cast a shadow of suspicion. But one thing was clear. Her televised breakdown became the story of the day, captured for millions to dissect. Social media erupted as clips of Sonny's abrupt exit went viral, sparking wild theories. Had her husband turned on her? Was Sonny facing criminal charges? Speculation ran rampant, with one central question dominating the chaos. Would this scandal end her career, or even result in legal consequences? The network, already jittery over declining ad revenue and mounting public backlash, acted swiftly. Sonny was placed on temporary leave, with an official statement citing vague, personal reasons. But viewers weren't fooled. Tabloids feasted on the drama, splashing headlines like Sonny Hostin's on-air meltdown, betrayed by her husband. Paparazzi swarmed her home, hoping for a glimpse of the embattled star, but Sonny stayed hidden, communicating only through cryptic social media posts that hinted at heartbreak and despair. Inside her home, Sonny worked tirelessly with a powerhouse attorney known for defending celebrities caught in legal firestorms. Her days became a blur of tense strategy meetings and nerve-wracking depositions. Attempts to contact her husband were met with a chilling response from his legal team. Any direct communication could jeopardize his cooperation with authorities. The realization hit her like a thunderclap. Not only was her husband potentially betraying her, but their silence was now mandated by law. The media frenzy reached a fever pitch. News outlets dissected every rumor and analyzed every possible twist. Anonymous sources delivered conflicting reports. One claimed Sonny was under serious investigation, while another argued there wasn't enough evidence to move forward.
He's to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do. So there are a lot of problems with it. But the notion that we are in a violent country, this country was built on violence. We're a very violent country. And it's just undeniable that that's the case. And so I'm not, unfortunately, surprised that people are celebrating the use of violence.
Sonny's attorney promised an official statement, but held back, warning that any hasty response could have devastating consequences. Behind closed doors, her legal team drafted statements for every scenario. One if she was indicted, another if she was cleared. The waiting was agony. Meanwhile, Sonny's absence from the show created tension among her co-hosts. Some expressed genuine concern for her emotional well-being, recalling how often she had spoken with pride about her husband. Others, however, worried her personal scandal might derail the show entirely. Stand-in panelists filled her seat, but viewers weren't satisfied. Social media demands grew louder. Where is Sonny? Is she under investigation? The scandal hit a breaking point when a national newspaper published leaked excerpts from her husband's alleged plea deal. The language was ominously vague. He had agreed to provide all relevant information, including that of close family, regarding business practices under investigation. It didn't explicitly name Sonny, but left little doubt that she was at risk. Public opinion erupted into a frenzy. Fans debated whether Sonny was an unwitting victim or a complicit player. Pundits weighed in, questioning the ethics of spousal loyalty under legal pressure. Once again, the footage of her emotional exit looped endlessly, a haunting symbol of her unraveling world. As the storm raged on, Sonny retreated into isolation, her once bright presence now a shadow behind closed doors. Close friends who visited described her as barely hanging on, consumed by near-constant calls with her legal team, and bracing daily for new unwelcome developments. The network's public stance was vague but telling. Sonny would be welcome back, only if her situation was fully resolved. With each passing day, that promise felt less like a reassurance and more like a polite dismissal. Then, amidst the chaos, Sonny broke her silence. She granted a meticulously planned interview to a respected journalist known for measured reporting. Filmed in a private location, far from the prying eyes of paparazzi, Sonny appeared visibly drained. Her voice wavered as she carefully avoided legal specifics, declaring her innocence while acknowledging the heartbreak of not knowing if her husband had implicated her. "I love him," she said, tears welling up. "But I never imagined this nightmare could become my reality." She ended with a quiet but powerful plea. "My career has always been built on honesty. I would never betray my viewers or knowingly break the law." The interview set off a fresh storm of speculation. Some praised Sonny's vulnerability, calling it a raw and genuine display of her character. Others dismissed it as calculated damage control. Yet, for a fleeting moment, public judgment softened. The human cost of her ordeal became undeniable. Ironically, the interview boosted ratings for her show, though Sonny herself remained absent from the panel. As days turned into weeks, talk of potential charges against Sonny began to fade. Without concrete evidence from her husband, it seemed prosecutors might not proceed, but the damage to her personal life was glaring. Sonny's once private marriage had become tabloid fodder, and whispers of a potential separation grew louder. While she hadn't confirmed anything, close friends suggested the trust between them was irreparably shattered. Meanwhile, the network grappled with a crucial decision. Should they bring Sonny back, gambling on her ability to revive ratings, or quietly phase her out to avoid further controversy. Some executives argued that her loyal fan base could reignite if her name was cleared. Others deemed the risk too great, given the possibility of future legal twists. Eventually, Sonny reappeared in a carefully controlled manner. She was featured on a special episode, joining via a remote video feed. Her face betrayed tension, but her remarks were measured, focused solely on current events and steering well clear of her personal drama. The audience's reaction was predictably divided. Some hailed her resilience, while others blasted the network for giving her airtime under such a heavy cloud of suspicion. After that fleeting return, Sonny did not resume her role full-time. Behind the scenes, her legal team remained on high alert, monitoring every ripple in the investigation. With no further action from prosecutors, it seemed likely that her husband's plea deal had used her name more as leverage than as a genuine lead. But this offered little comfort to Sonny, who continued to live in limbo, haunted by the possibility that a subpoena could arrive at her door at any moment. Meanwhile, the viral clip of Sonny's on-air meltdown.
Overdiagnosing.
That's why I said
overbill.
I feel like more like doctor companies was doing this just in this probably in New York.
Oh, for sure.
And I feel like it was not just the tax, like just using the taxi
probably
driver.
did it to the illegals as well.
Yeah, that's why I said
But
I can
this
see
is
a lot of
separate
money just
thing.
going. I feel like it plays together, in my opinion.
Where she fled the set in a state of panic, continued to dominate social media. For some, it served as a stark reminder of how quickly personal turmoil can shatter even the most polished public persona. For others, it was a rare glimpse of raw, unfiltered humanity in an industry so often cloaked in manufactured perfection. Either way, it etched itself into the annals of daytime television as one of the most unforgettable, jaw-dropping moments ever broadcast. As weeks turned into months, the scandal faded from the forefront of public discourse, but never fully disappeared. The show underwent a subtle rebrand, introducing fresh personalities, while steering clear of any direct mention of Sonny or her predicament. With the daily drama finally quieting, sponsors began to return, easing the network's financial concerns. Behind the scenes, there was a quiet, collective sigh of relief among staffers who admitted the constant tension of Sonny's crisis had weighed heavily on their broadcasts. For Sonny, the emotional toll was far greater. She grappled with the realization that her career, her marriage, and her public reputation had been permanently altered. In rare moments of candor with trusted friends, she admitted feeling torn. Part of her burned with anger at her husband for possibly selling her out, while another part held onto a fragile hope that he had acted under unbearable pressure. The emotional tightrope she walked left her exhausted, questioning everything and everyone around her. Speculation about the case's resolution remained rampant. Some journalists argued that the government's decision not to pursue charges suggested her husband's cooperation hadn't produced credible evidence against her. Others whispered about the possibility of a quiet deal, where Sonny might have provided minimal information to protect herself. Despite the conjecture, tabloids clung to their sensational narratives, paying little regard to the real human toll at the center of the story. Over time, the chaos began to subside. Prosecutors eventually issued a terse statement confirming that Sonny Hostin was not currently the subject of a criminal charge. While the phrase "not currently" left room for speculation, it also offered Sonny a bittersweet sense of relief. She could finally exhale, though only cautiously. Reflecting on the ordeal, network insiders admitted they had never seen Sonny so visibly shaken. That brief but unforgettable on-air moment had revealed how quickly a seemingly untouchable figure could crumble under the weight of public scrutiny and personal betrayal. For years, Sonny had embodied the image of a confident, composed professional who could handle any challenge thrown her way. But this scandal proved that even the strongest personas could crack when real-life turmoil hit too close to home. Whether Sonny Hostin can ever regain the full momentum of her once thriving career remains an open question. These days, she appears sparingly, offering special commentary under the watchful eyes of network lawyers. She remains tight-lipped about the rumors surrounding her marriage, neither confirming nor denying whether she and her husband have reconciled or quietly parted ways. When asked about her infamous meltdown, Sonny gives little away, just a soft, pained smile that hints at scars that haven't fully healed. Despite her sharp legal mind, she found herself powerless against a system that can dismantle lives in the blink of an eye. Sonny's ordeal, a panic sparked by her husband's alleged plea deal and potential betrayal, has become a stark, cautionary tale. It's more than just a viral moment or tabloid headline. Her on-air collapse captured something raw and universally human, the terror of being caught in forces beyond your control. It was a visceral reminder that no one, not even a polished television veteran, is immune to the chaos of sudden accusations and high-stakes investigations. The final chapter of Sonny's story remains unwritten, but the image of her fleeing the set, microphone still live and panic etched across her face, will linger in the collective memory. For some, it's a warning about the dangers of letting personal challenges bleed into professional life. For others, it's proof of how fragile trust and loyalty can become under the crushing weight of legal pressure. But for Sonny, it's a searing lesson about the fragility of even the most carefully cultivated public image, and the devastating realization that the person you trust most can also become the source of your greatest heartbreak. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more deep dives into the most controversial moments and shocking truths, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. We've got more eye-opening stories and jaw-dropping revelations coming your way. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and share this video with someone who'd love it. Until next time, this is Gossip Spill, and I'll see you in the next one.